Hello friends, welcome to Suresh Aggarwal's Mathematics Shortcuts. The chapter on algebraic expressions and identities. It starts in class 8 and I'm sure you know that algebra has only a start. It doesn't have any end because in future classes algebra becomes a subject, right? So you need to be really careful how you are developing those skills which will help you in cracking the problems of algebra quickly and accurately, right? So these videos are basic videos in which I am telling you all the basic concepts of algebra, and in my previous video I have taken up some of the questions based on addition and subtraction of expressions. In this video I am going to take up multiplication of monomials. So if you are able to multiply monomials correctly, then multiplication of binomials, trinomials and higher polynomials will become easy. But if you make errors in multiplication of monomials, then everything is going to be difficult, right? So watch the entire video. This is really important for all the school students and obviously everybody who is preparing for quant exams. The topic is for you. Let me tell you about the India's #1 Vedic Maths video course which we brought out recently, and it has fetched us a very good review from our users. The video course aims at developing some of the basic competencies in you, just like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and divisibility rules. So if you are good in all these basic operations, I tell you, you will be really very smart and good in higher things also. More often than not, the students who are not able to find the squares, square roots, cube roots, percentages, ratios, decimals, fractions, they are not able to handle these things properly. It is because they lack in basic abilities like mental addition, mental subtraction, and therefore this course is important. So all those who are looking forward for improving their speed of calculations 10x faster, they should get a copy of this beginner level video course of Vedic Maths. So this course has a lot of good features which will help you in deciding whether to go for it or not. It has 61 explanatory videos, 61 videos, and then we have 114 worksheets which you can try by applying all those concepts which are told to you and the illustrations which are given to you in the ebook. And then obviously 10 times faster calculations. That goal is not at all far away. So if you want to get a copy of this, do send me a message on WhatsApp. 9896369963 is the number. You can find this number in the description also here, right? So don't wait, just go for this very nominal costing video course, and this will help you in the entire life. Let's get into the questions now. Here we have the first question where we are asked to find the product of some of the monomials which are given here. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 monomials which you have to multiply. Now there are some basic rules which you have to follow when you are multiplying monomials. Okay, so be careful, watch this and don't take it lightly. So what are the numbers here? What are the terms here? We have 7x cubed and we need to multiply that by minus 1 by 14xy. Why I am putting in the bracket? There is a reason for that. We have a multiplication sign here and we have a negative sign here. Two operations, two signs cannot come together without the use of brackets, and therefore I am using a bracket here. Multiply that by another bracket because I have a negative sign, minus 8x square y square, and finally we have multiply that by 3y cube. So I don't need a bracket here because there is no sign, right? So you see the use of brackets which I have done here, and after that the rules are going to help you out. The first rule says count the number of negative signs. So how many negative signs are there? 1, 2. 2 negative signs. If you have even number of negative signs, your answer will be positive because minus and minus make a positive. If you have odd number of negatives, your answer will be negative. That is the first rule. The second rule. So obviously here negative and negative makes a positive, so your answer is going to be positive, or you don't even put a positive, it's understood that the answer is positive. Okay, so you don't actually need to put a positive there. Next is multiplication of the numeric part or the numerical part of the terms. So forget about the variables x and y, x square, x cube, y cube, forget all those things. Just take the numbers and multiply them. For that you need to be very good in multiplication of fractions. Okay, so you should know how to cancel the common factor between the numerator and denominator. So what happens here is we have a 7, then we have a 1 by 14, then we have a 8, and then we have a 3, right? So I can see that this 7 in the numerator is cancelling the 14 in the denominator 2 times. So you have a 1 here, and 2 in the denominator cancels 8 in the numerator 4 times. And so there is nothing left in the denominator, and the numerator becomes 1 times 1 times 4 times 3, which is 12. And so the product of the numerical coefficients is 12. I will write that here. That is the second rule. Now apply the third rule. Look for the variables having the same literal. That means the same alphabet. So here we have x cube. Where is x? Here we have x. X means x raised to power 1. So x raised to power 3, x raised to power 1, x raised to power 2. That's it. 3 different terms having x. Add all the exponents of x. 3 plus 1 4 plus 2 6, and x raised to power 6 will be the next part of your answer. Likewise, if you have some other literals, like we have y, here we don't have y, here we have y raised to power 1, here we have y square, and here we have y cube. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is again 6. So y raised to power 6 becomes the final part of your answer, and your answer for the question is 12 x raised to power 6 y raised to power 6. Understood the 3 rules? The first rule is how to check which sign will be there in your final answer. If the number of negatives is odd, then you have the answer being odd. If the number of negatives is even, then your answer is what? Positive, right? Second rule says multiply all the numerical coefficients, get it into a single form. And then the third rule says the law of exponents. You have to check the exponents of the same literal, that means same alphabet. So x raised to power something plus x into x raised to power something into x raised to power something. So you add all the exponents and you get the next part of your answer. Do that with other literals also, right? Now we can skip steps. I mean, I'll not be explaining that much to you because I have explained everything in the first question. Let's try it in the second question now. Let's apply the rule here. Find the area of a rectangle. Now first thing is we should know that area of a rectangle is length times breadth, right? So we should be given the length and breadth in order to find the area of the rectangle, right? So the length and breadth are given below. The length is this, which is 6ab square c square times the breadth. Breadth is 19 upon 30 a cube b. So again a question of multiplication, right? Let's apply the rules. There are no signs here, so we don't need to worry about the sign. Your answer is going to be positive only because everything is positive, and that's understandable. Why? Because the area of a rectangle cannot be negative, it has to be positive only, right? So plus. Multiply the numerical coefficients. Here we have 6 and here we have 19 by 30. So 6 times 19 by 30. 6 cancels 35 times, so we have 19 by 5. So 19 by 5 will be the numerical part of your answer, and then a cube. A raised to power 1 and a raised to power 3 is a raised to power 4. B raised to power 2 and b raised to power 1 is b raised to power 3. And c raised to power 2, that will come because you have that as a lone term here, and that gives us the area of the rectangle. We obtain the area by multiplying the length with the breadth, right? So your answer is 19 upon 5 a power 4 b cube c square. Let's see some more questions now. Again, we need to find the area of a triangle. So I should know that the area of a triangle is half into base into altitude. Now that's the formula I should know if I have to solve this correctly. So I'll just write it again. Altitude. Now For finding the area, I should know what is the base and what is the altitude. Here we have the base and here you have the altitude. So let's put the values. Half into base is 5p square q square into altitude is 8pqr. 8pqr. So can you see some terms which are getting cancelled here? Now again, we don't need to worry about the sign, right? Because everything is positive, area has to be positive, right? So I can see this 2 cancelling this 8 4 times. See, I am doing it in this step itself now, so that I can find the product of these monomials directly without having to worry about the steps which I have to write. Okay, so what is the answer? The 2 is vanished now. 5 times 4 is 20. P square and P is P cube. Q square and Q is Q cube. And finally we have a R here. So your answer, the area of the triangle is 20 P cube Q cube R. Right? Likewise, we have a question of volume of a rectangular box. And we should know that the volume of a box is length times breadth times height. So do we know all the three things here? Yes. The length is 3 by 7 x cube times the breadth is 14 by 39 xy and the height is 13 y square. So let's multiply these three and get the volume comfortably. 7 cancels 14 2 times, 13 cancels 39 3 times, and the 3 cancels 3. So what is the numerical coefficient now? This is vanished. This is only 2 in the numerator and there is nothing else, right? So only the 2 is left out. Out of all the numeric coefficients, only a 2 is left out. So that will form the numerical coefficient of your answer. Now x cube, x, that's it. So x raised to power 4 and then y and y square is y cube, which gives us the volume of the rectangular box. Isn't that easy? When you start understanding the rules, you start applying the rules correctly, things become so easy. Right friends? So I hope you have learned something useful from this video. Do share it with all the friends who are struggling in these concepts. Do subscribe the channel and click the bell shaped icon for getting all the notifications of the future uploads. Thanks for watching this video. Look for more such amazing videos, especially important for school students and for quant exams. All the best.